Hey guys, in today's video we are going to be making keto almond cake. This is a recipe I made a while back, so I'm just creating a video for it now. But this is a really nice cake if you want something that's not overly heavy. It's kind of got a slightly lighter texture than most keto cakes. The almond flavor too is really nice, and then typically I top it with a really light frosting. So instead of standard frosting, we're just using whipped cream, which is much lighter again. In this video I might just top it with some powdered sugar because that's kind of what I'm feeling today. But either way, this recipe is delicious, and you can find the full written version of it down below as usual, as well as many other recipes. And please comment, like, and subscribe if you like this video. It really helps me out, helps me to grow my channel so I can continue to make more videos like this one. Let's just get started. Alright guys, to start off with, preheat your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we are going to begin by adding some almond flour to our bowl. This is 1 cup. Next, we'll want to add 5 tablespoons of coconut flour. Next, we're adding arrowroot starch. If you don't have this, see the full blog post below for substitutions. This just makes our cake really light and fluffy. It's a super cool ingredient. After that, we'll add 1 full tablespoon of baking powder, and yes, I said tablespoon, not teaspoon. Then half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of xanthan gum, again see below if you don't have this ingredient, and then about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now we're just going to whisk all of this up until it's combined. And once that's done, we'll just set it aside, and then we'll get a new bowl for our wet ingredients. To this bowl, we want to add 1/3 cup of coconut oil. You can use butter here as well. Coconut oil just coats the flour slightly better, and you'll get a little bit of a nicer texture than with just butter. And then I'm going to pop this in the microwave for about 40 seconds or until it's melted. Now to our coconut oil, we're going to add about 3/4 of a cup of powdered sweetener. I'm using a monk fruit sweetener. I always recommend it. It's my absolute favorite sweetener for any recipe. And then we're just going to combine these two until you get kind of like a thick paste texture. And then once that's done, we can also add our eggs to the bowl. And we'll give it another stir until everything's combined. Once that's done, we want to add half a cup of slightly warmed heavy cream. This is just so that the coconut oil doesn't harden up again. Lastly, we want to add 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract, as well as 1 teaspoon of almond extract, and 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. I forgot to film the vinegar, but the reason we add it is so it reacts with the baking soda in the recipe and you get that nice, slightly crisp top crust on your cake. Now we'll just add our dry ingredients to the same bowl, and then we can take a spoon and start mixing that up until we get a thick batter. And keto desserts are a little bit different than regular desserts. We actually want to mix more, not undermix, just because we want to activate the xanthan gum, which actually provides the thickening effect and acts like gluten in our recipe. So once your batter looks like this, we can set it aside, and then I'm going to grab an 8x8 inch square pan. You can use any pan you prefer. I just really like the thickness that this gives. And then I'm just going to grease my pan with some butter, or you can just use oil if you have that as well. Once that's done, we can just use a spatula to scoop our batter into the pan. And we want to make sure we spread it out as evenly as possible. Do your best. I know that low-carb batters can be a lot thicker and a little bit harder to work with. And then once it looks like this, I like to top mine with chopped almonds. If you are making the whipped cream topping, then you want to leave the almonds off and actually just do this after and put them on top of the whipped cream. And then once this is all done, we're going to bake it at 325 for 25 to 28 minutes, or until the center is no longer jiggly and the outside is lightly browned. And this is what it will look like. I promise the outsides aren't burned. Keto baked goods just tend to brown a little bit more, but they don't actually cook through the way that you'd think when they're brown like that. As you can see from the inside of the cake here, it's super soft. It's honestly so good. It came out amazing. I love the whipped cream topping, but honestly, just powdered sugar with the almonds is so good as well. And as you can see, this cake is fluffy, it's soft, super moist in the center. It's just the best cake ever. Like, you guys need to try this recipe right now. It is not hard to make. It's so good. Your family and friends will all be impressed. Just give it a try now and thank me later. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe today. Like always, please comment, like, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. It always helps my channel to grow. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Click one of the videos below if you want to try another one of my recipes.